Today's video, I'm going to talk about what is coming up on this channel in the month of January. This is usually a slow month, especially in the first 2 weeks, so I will be using that time to do some classic album reviews, which I will explain in more detail throughout this video.
Here it comes. Almost there.
In the second half of January, we have some cool new releases. I released a video talking about upcoming albums. There will be some overlap, but not too much. I just want to focus on the month of January in this video. Like I was saying, the first 15 days of January are usually pretty slow, so during that time, I want to focus on anniversary reviews. Now, the problem with this is that if I want to release videos the exact same day as the anniversary, I'm going to be lumping a lot of videos on the same day. So, for that reason, I will be recording them and releasing them about a week or a few days before the actual anniversary because it just works better for me. If we take a look at January 10th through January 15th, there's a big clump of albums that are celebrating anniversaries and that I want to review. First one is the Rolling Stones EP, which is celebrating 60 years. This is a short EP. It only has 4 songs, but I'm going to do a video on it, which will probably be about 5 minutes long. The next one on January 12th is Sugar Ray with 1459. This is one of those bands that was really big at one point, but it seems that nobody really talks about them too much. I'll do a video on it. Probably won't get a lot of views, but I'll do it anyway. Then there's Led Zeppelin 1. That's a big one for 55 years. I already have the script for this one. I'll probably release this one in early January. I've been looking forward to doing this one because it is one of my favorite bands. Next is Beatles' Yellow Submarine celebrating 55 years. This one I probably won't do just because I don't really think it would be interesting, but I might. I'll put that one up in the air. Next is Judas Priest, Defender of the Faith, celebrating 40 years. I will definitely do this one because it's a great album and one of my favorite Judas Priest albums. Definitely in my top 5. Next is Creator with Hordes of Chaos, celebrating 15 years. I really like that album as well. And finally on the 15th is Scorpions with Love Drive, celebrating 45 years, which is a great album. I will definitely do that one. I'll probably release this clump of albums in the first 2 weeks of January. Now, if you look at the 20th to the 25th, there's another clump of albums celebrating anniversaries. We have the US release of Meet the Beatles celebrating 60 years. I'm not sure about this one. I probably won't do it. Then on the 21st, in Bon Jovi's debut album celebrating 40 years. This one might be interesting to do because I like the older Bon Jovi stuff, so that's a maybe. On the 24th, the Skid Row's debut album celebrating 35 years. I will most likely do this one because I really like this album. It's a classic. My Skid Row content has done well in the past. And on the 25th is Prong with Cleansing, celebrating 30 years, which might be good. I know my recent Prong video did pretty well. And then we have Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies. I already agreed to do that with the Chill Do It on the Couch reviews on his channel. So I will post that when that takes place, which will be sometime in January. Now with the tail end of January, we have a couple of pretty good albums. We have Whitesnake, Slide It In, celebrating 30 years. Really good album. I had that one when I was young. I used to listen to it all the time. I'll probably do that one. Exodus, Fabulous Disaster, celebrating 35 years. Another great one, which I will most likely do because it is one of my favorite Exodus albums. And Warrant, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich. Another one I think might be worth doing. And I have a question mark with Anthrax, Fistful of Metal, celebrating 40 years, only because I couldn't find an exact date, but I will do that at some point in January. Now for new releases. They start on the weekend of the 12th. This one has 3 bands I don't know very well, but I have been listening to their older stuff just to get myself familiar with them. The first is The Rods with Rattle the Cage. This is an older heavy metal band. Reminds me of AC/DC, but a little heavier. Sounds interesting, and that would probably get a review. There's a new collaboration album with Jack Russell and Tracy Guns called Russell Guns, and the album is called Medusa. And then another one called Scanner, another classic heavy metal. They're more like power metal, and they've been around for a while. They have an album called The Cosmic Race. Sounds interesting, so I will probably review it. That's the weekend of the 12th. The weekend of the 19th is the first weekend with some big names. So the 2 big ones are Saxon with Hellfire and Damnation, and Green Day with Saviors. I talked about Saxon in my last video. I didn't mention Green Day. I forgot about them. So I'm looking forward to this because the last Green Day album was pretty bad, but I think this one will be pretty good. Singles sound very good. They're going back to that old style. So these two albums will definitely get a review. On the 26th, there are a few albums. One is from a band called Lucifer. It's a band I don't know very well, but they sound something like a mixture of Ghost, Black Sabbath, and some like Blue Oyster Cult, that type of music. It's a throwback to 70s hard rock. And then Mago de Oz with Alicia and El Metal Verso. They are a Spanish band. They play folk metal. I've listened to them in the past, not sure if I will review them. And there's another album, Static X, with Project Regeneration Volume 2, which I may or may not review. And these are just possibilities, because a lot of times I see what other channels are reviewing, and then they introduce me to new metal albums, of which I had never heard of before. And then I'll discover something new and I'll review something different. So this is all just tentative. There may be some changes, of course. So that is all. This is my preview of January. I might do this every month. And if you like this and you think I should do it every month, just comment and tell me I should do it every month. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a like. It helps me with the algorithm. Please subscribe if you have not already. And hit the bell for notifications. I will see you in the next one.